Hi everybody, I'm Daryl Smith here for Film Banter. Today we'll be interviewing the original exoskeleton Terminator from James Cameron's new film, Dark Fate, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton. He'll be here today talking about his life and his travels and life being the Terminator. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce him right now. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the Terminator of Dark Fate and James Cameron's original film.
Hello. It is very nice to be here.
Well, you know, you look fantastic. I think the fans are going to be very impressed seeing you in person. That beautiful sheen, that incredible just workmanship that goes into the creature that you are.
I am not a creature. I am a human being with plasticine parts.
I see. Well, that seems a little odd to me, but okay, let's get right into it. The new film has come out. It has been less than heralded by the critics and the filmgoers alike. In fact, the film is a downright bomb. So you must be very upset about that.
I am very upset about that. I am losing my mind. I do not know what to do with myself. Every night I cry myself to sleep. It is a horrible existence for me.
Well, I'm so sorry. I wish there was something we could do. What if we got you an oil can? You know, like the Tin Man in the Wizard?
That is not funny. I do not appreciate your humor. Please go away now.
Listen, Bozo, I'm just trying to talk like a normal person to you.
That's enough. I've had it. Please go away.
Listen, your movie bombed. Okay? You're gonna be out on the streets before you know it. You're not gonna have anywhere to go. You're finished. You're all washed up in this town. You get it?
I am going to tell you as soon as this interview is over.
Well, we'll see about that. All right, everybody. This is Daryl Smith. I'm signing off. And hopefully I better get out of here. So see you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another thrilling evening of Film Banter with me, Daryl Smith, and Chris Cuomo.
Thank you. I'm here.
Your host.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Chris Picard.
Good to see you,
that's
folks.
right.
We're back.
As Chris Cuomo would say, let's get after it. So,
Episode
Chris,
137 is here.
I know, a frightening thought.
It's November 5th, the 5th of November.
I get closer to the stone in the ground.
You got another 20 years left. You're good.
You think so?
I think so, at least.
Maybe.
I mean,
maybe
you're
not.
in decent health.
I'm in good health.
You
Actually.
could get yourself into a major car accident and
I
not
could.
early.
Yeah, because I drive like a maniac.
You kind of do, and you don't use
I do.
turn signals that often.
Did you notice how I fast forwarded over Orgasm Bridge today?
I noticed
way
that.
home?
It was very crazy.
Very fast.
Very fast.
I go very fast because that's my favorite bridge to cross.
It's kind of a cool place to go.
It's
yeah.
a cool little bridge, and
Yeah.
I like to really zap it, and I go really fast.
I know you
over
did.
it.
I watched
Yeah,
it.
I did.
Luckily, I knew where I was going.
I
so.
call that Orgasm Bridge.
Why?
Because it's like having an orgasm every time I go over it.
Oh, nice.
It's really quite entertaining.
It probably lasts just as
And it's
long.
also great fun.
Good.
Now, we went to a place tonight for dinner that we haven't gone in a long time.
It's been a
That,
little
of
bit.
course, is the Mawa
It's
Bar
one of my favorites.
and Grill.
In Mawa.
It's a good place.
They do the wonderful pasta night on Tuesdays.
They
have
do indeed.
They make your own pasta bar with this huge spread. Chef Pierre does a wonderful job.
was there. That's nice.
Delicious. You
It's very good.
pick all your ingredients from a massive display of everything you can think of.
He got very upset at
Really
me tonight. I had to apologize.
Well, I knew that was going to happen. I don't know why you did that.
Well, you know something? I just saw an olive, and when I'm in the
pile of olives.
pile of olives, but most green and black. That's right. It's a non-racial aspect of olives there. So I just reached down very quickly and I grabbed one, and there were two very horny women next to us that were.
Is that what they were?
I think they were a little bit. Well, they were very interested in us. And,
Well, because they'd never been to pasta night.
oh, is that right?
No.
Oh, okay.
And the one woman was amazed the one next to me that she basically ordered the same thing I did.
Ah, well, I think she.
She might have wanted some young.
Forgive the word. Maybe you can bleep that out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, irregardless, it was
delicious.
I felt very bad, and they ratted me out.
They did.
They're the ones who said to Chef Pierre that look, he has taken a piece of olive from the olive counter.
He scolded
and
you.
He is now going. He did scold me. Don't you be touching that, he said. Don't touch that.
He's like, if
Yeah.
somebody gets sick, it's his fault.
That's right. What you get sick? What you got malaria? And then I simply said, well, it's been a while. It's been a few years since I've had syphilis. So and then the girls just
They're
went,
like, oh my goodness.
Oh my
No
heavens."
filter, they
Then I said that was below the belt, and then they went, oh.
Yeah. They're kind of like that.
Yeah, they did. So anyway, we're here tonight. We're going to start our show immediately because Chris has to leave immediately. Following the
Also, it's
the
nice
need.
to do a shorter show.
He likes to do a
Instead of
shorter
us
show so
wasting-
he can leave quicker.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the key.
it's just the whole key of him getting the hell out of here.
Yes,
that's right. I
that's
don't
all-
want to
that's
be
what
there.
it's all about.
I just want to do the show. Get the goddamn hell out of here.
Yes, that's
So,
it.
all
That's what
right.
it's about, folks. Me leaving.
So, what movie are you going to watch tonight, Chris?
Tonight, I'm going to see Motherless Brooklyn with Edward Norton.
Edward Norton's directorial and starring role.
Exactly, and he wrote it too.
He wrote it
Based
too.
on a novel that I never heard of.
Oh.
It's apparently a famous novel.
I've never heard of it.
Me neither.
But he did another film that was also a famous novel. I don't believe he directed. It was something about the grass.
Well, no, he did. Well, he did the Painted
Splendor,
Veil.
Painted Veil.
And he also did
I
a
love the
movie-
Painted Veil.
He also did a movie. I think it was called Leaves of Grass about weed.
Correct.
He played two characters in that.
Did he?
I think he played twin brothers.
Ah, very good.
But I'm looking forward to seeing it. Yeah. But tonight, the big movie, obviously, that we're going to be covering is Terminator: Dark Fate. It is the latest, attempt at a reboot
Yep.
of the Terminator franchise. You know the storyline. We don't really need to get into it. Another Terminator is sent back to kill somebody in the past who obviously is a resistance
same
leader
premise
in the
as
future.
always.
It's the same thing every time. Linda Hamilton actually got top billing, and I thought she was excellent.
Did you?
She was very good in this film, I
Oh,
thought.
and I didn't really like her
Oh, really?
character in this.
I liked her.
I thought she was a little ornery.
Tough,
and,
ornery, yeah.
Yeah.
I met her.
There she is.
I met her 11 years ago at Schiller Theater.
You know,
she
you
was
look
very
like
grabby.
You look like you just boned the canary.
I went there with Steve, and she was all over us, touching us.
Was
and
she?
She was very nice.
Very affectionate.
Very friendly.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I hope she used a condom because
I don't know.
You know, that could be the springboard
It
for
could
all
be
kinds
a lot
of
of
disease.
things. I loved seeing Arnold again.
Did you?
When he shows up, that was one of my favorite scenes. I thought that was great when,
Really?
when they go to see him.
Okay.
Uh,
So you like the film?
I liked, actually, honestly, I went in there like not dying to see it. I've been interested only because I've been hearing good reviews
Really?
from people online
Okay.
and some, some good word of mouth from some people that I know who saw an advanced screening. And otherwise, I'm burnt out of the property, to be honest with you. I didn't love Salvation. I thought Part 3 was terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't even bother seeing Genesis from like 4 years ago.
I saw them all.
Yeah, I didn't
I
want
saw
to.
Genesis only because
Of
our lovely
Emilia Clarke played
Emilia Clarke was
Sarah
in it.
Connor. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was an attempt at a reboot.
I saw the film and I didn't even know it was her.
Oh.
At the time I saw it, and after I got home, I was watching her on an interview on Access Hollywood
Yeah.
or something, and there she was talking about it, and I was going, "Oh my God, that was the Khaleesi."
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it was her.
But I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I actually had a good time watching it. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. However, I kind of don't want any more of these movies. I'm done with it. Like, how much more can they do? I don't need a reboot. I don't need a remake. Let's let it be for a while. And given the box office
Yeah.
this weekend,
Horrible.
let's hope that they just take a break for a while.
Well, let me just
I
tell
get the
you.
feeling you didn't care for
Oh,
it.
I hated this film.
I feel like you did.
I really hated it.
Yeah.
I was in agony from the pretty much the moment on. I thought our blonde girl was okay.
Mackenzie Davis, I thought was great.
She's good.
She's a human android hybrid that's sent back in time.
You're right. She's an enhanced version.
She is.
of a human
being.
muscular, very fast.
She's like the $6 million woman, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Basically. No, I found this film just boring from
That's
the
her right
get-go. I didn't find it entertaining. I was constant. I must have looked at my watch 100 times through this film. I just touched your knee, and I'm so sorry.
I felt really good about it. I
Did
felt
you
really
like
good.
It? Oh, gosh.
Now I'm not going to wash my knee.
Well, listen, don't you ever wash that knee.
We'll take our
But
relationship
I
to the
thought
next
Arnold
level.
was old and tired. It just felt like that whole extended scene. And this guy, he's our Terminator.
Yeah.
This guy, he's the Robert Patrick role from the previous film. I thought he was just, I don't think he looked like it.
There was a meme on the internet that was funny that was pointing out that he looks like a Home Depot manager.
There you go. Or maybe
He was okay.
yeah.
I would have picked somebody else.
I would have picked somebody else too, and I would have picked somebody else instead of the blonde girl. Although she was great, the way she's just dressed and carrying herself, it just looked very this film looked undernourished to me. It looked underproduced.
And this is the film that Cameron came back to produce. He had story input, apparently, of a whole new trilogy.
All I could think to myself was, I hope James Cameron, I wonder if he's even seen this film, because I really didn't feel his stamp. Maybe he's so burned out on making 5 or 6 avatars that are coming out in the next 30 years.
I know.
He'll be dead.
The
by
first
the time.
one keeps getting pushed back.
I know.
Now it's 2021.
We're all going to be dead by the time these things come out. Here's your little star. Here's your Sarah Connor version 2.
I thought she was capable. She was good.
Thought she was okay.
I believe her name is Natalia Reyes.
Oh,
it is. Yeah,
I didn't care about any of this film. It just was the same old jive, the same old jumping off trains and cars and boats.
I will agree it was the same old.
It was the same
However,
old
I still enjoyed it for what it was.
Oh, I didn't enjoy it
Especially
at all.
going in with it, with I'm not dying to see it.
No, I will not see. I have no desire to see it again. I have no desire to. This is more. Look at the look on your face, man. You just look like you just ate the canary right out of the
Well, she was
cage.
being so nice.
She was. I'm surprised she. There should have been a nipple touch there. She should have and then you would have said no, clockwise.
Yeah.
A little rotation on the nipple. But yeah, boy, this movie was tired and old and didn't give a damn. However, I will say this: as much as I just didn't care anything about any of this film, I did enjoy the last half hour. And there was a little moment there where I actually choked up a little bit. There's a constant reference to that some mysterious person is doing things for John.
Exactly.
We do see young John Connor.
Let's not give everything too much away, but
we see him
he does
very
show
quickly.
Up. Yeah. Edward Furlong did come back, and they de-aged him.
And I gotta say this is supposed to be a continuation of Terminator 2.
It ignores all the other films.
Well, Terminator 2, Arnold was a good guy. Arnold was the good Terminator.
I know, but this is a different Terminator that came back. This wasn't the same Arnold.
Well, obviously,
this wasn't the same model.
Obviously, but that's not really made very clear, because the very end of Terminator 2, good Arnold goes down, he sinks with the ship.
No, but the Hamilton makes a point to say that another Terminator was sent back 2 years or 3 years after the events of Part 2. Yeah, that was explained.
This whole movie.
I think you were too busy looking at your watch and you missed it.
No, I was not. But my watch was like right here. I had to, I put the flashlight on it so that I got the luminous dial effect. But man, I just couldn't wait to get out of this theater.
Okay.
I really could not. I felt it. I felt dead air on screen.
Yeah.
And dead air is a dangerous thing. Dead air is just where nothing's happening. You need to have, and even if that dead air is enhanced with emotional content going on, like a drama. A regular drama has emotional content that carries you from scene to scene, and comedy has laughs and enhanced with drama, if you will. That scene when they show up at Arnold's house, and he's got little Manuito, his little baby boy. I was waiting for the maid to come out and look just like the son.
That would have been funny.
That would have been funny. Yeah. But I thought it was just all dead space. I didn't feel anything. I just felt like, God, what did they film this? And somebody had a shack in the back, and they just and look at them. I mean, I just didn't feel nothing. Okay. Nothing at all. But the ending was
that last
okay.
hour. Honestly, everything from that plane scene was from the plane going forward towards the ending was very exciting. And I was generally, when I saw the trailer and I saw the plane moment in the trailer, even in the Genesis, I remember in the trailer had something with a plane.
Oh.
And I'm just like, too much CGI, too much
Yeah, but
airplane
that's all-
stuff.
yeah, but
but
this
I
is all
actually
action
was
films.
into it.
All
I
action
was into
films
it more than I thought I was.
All action films are exactly.
They
like
are,
that.
but
This is
you know,
what they
I
do.
think Terminator and the airplane.
Oh boy. Well,
I initially thought it was going to be too much.
$29 million.
I know.
You know.
We'll probably get another one in maybe 5-10 years. They'll probably try again.
You think so? Oh, I don't think.
Because they don't know how to stop. They're obsessed with rebooting.
Like the Terminator.
Yeah.
They don't know how to
they're
stop.
going to terminate the franchise till nobody goes sees it. I think we might get a few more years with that one, and I think inevitably they're going to try again.
You know what they'll do? They'll reboot.
That's what I'm saying.
They'll reboot
They'll
it.
try rebooting it again in 5-10 years. I don't want that. Enough.
Very disappointed.
Let's move on.
Oh, it was just miserable. For
So
me.
we're going to move on to
Miserable.
a film that some of you might have heard of. It's a limited release. It's called Parasite. It is.
Were those your films?
No, that's just the other
Memories
films this
of-
guy did. Parasite was directed by a South Korean filmmaker. It's a South Korean film.
It is.
His name is
Bong Joong-Ho.
No, Joong-Ho Bong.
Joong-Ho Bong.
John Holtzbong. No, John
Joong-Ho
Holtzbong.
Bong. Wait, maybe it was doorbell like ring wang gong.
Could be.
Bing
But
wang.
he directed
dong-ho.
films you might have heard of.
Yeah.
He did Snowpiercer. He directed Okja, which was a film that was on Netflix a couple years ago.
Very familiar.
He did The Host.
He's
and
got a
Memories
very
of
good
Murder.
eye. He's a
Yeah.
fine director. This probably is his masterpiece.
It is. It won the Palme d'Or
Palme d'Or
at the Cannes Film Festival.
And
He's one of the co-writers.
I would love to explain the plot of
Please
this film.
do.
It's been done before. There was a film called The Servant that had it starred not James Mason but the other guy, Dirk Bogarde. Was
Okay.
in it. And it's about a guy who works for this kind of pompous ass guy,
Mm-hmm.
and very slowly he starts to dominate the pompous ass guy, and he's the butler, he's the servant.
Yeah.
And he becomes
sounds great.
The pompous
I'd like to
ass.
see that.
It's basically the same film. This is about a family who gets entwined with a wealthy family.
It's a family of unemployed people that manipulate their way into the lives of these rich people.
They do indeed.
And it
they
was
end up-
fascinating.
It was wonderful. I love the way that they, it starts with the young man. He comes there to tutor her.
Yes.
And then finally we realize that, they have a driver, they have all kinds of people that they can
Housekeeper,
replace.
exactly.
That the family can replace. So they very slowly
It was brilliantly
begin
done.
to do this. It's brilliantly done, but it's beautifully photographed.
It is.
It's beautifully
I think it's a brilliant
put
masterpiece, like
together.
you said.
It truly is
one
a
of the best
masterpiece.
films of the year for me.
It absolutely
It's
is.
going to be, I think, nominated
No
for Best
question.
Picture, if not Best Foreign Film.
I don't think it's going to win. I'm going to be
It'll
honest.
win Best Foreign Film, maybe.
Probably so.
Like Roma did last
As it
year.
should.
Yeah.
As it should.
Excellent movie.
It's just excellent.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're put off, like in Roma, I was a little put off by the cast because, the Spanish is constant and the cast is not so relatable in Roma for me. But this film, Parasite, everybody was exactly the
Especially the father, the driver, which was your life for
the
how many years?
stereotypical person that they are prone to be. The only negative thing I have about this is the violence that takes place.
I was thinking the same thing.
I didn't really
It
feel
wasn't
it was
necessary. I agree.
I think the film would have been.
100%.
I think that it could have gone a different way. I think
I
maybe
agree.
it was a bit of a cop out.
Well, I think that's a cop out a lot of films make is they
Yeah.
go, let's throw that in there at the ending.
Well,
it's not
we don't-
necessary.
I maybe he didn't know where to go, but at the same time, if you think in reverse terms, it was a great ending. It was a great ending to some extent.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, this is the couple.
The married couple, the
here
rich
I am
couple.
distracted by photograph, but here that was the man and the wife, and who are just wonderful in this
They're
film.
great.
And
I love the
their
wife.
kids.
I think she's very good. She's
Loved her.
beautiful.
Beautiful, but she just
Everybody
had
was
a
well
purity
cast.
about her. There was a simplicity. Here they are again.
Which one of the characters points out.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
the reason
she
they
seems-
the reason they got into this whole situation was because a young man who was originally the tutor
Right.
was going abroad to study.
Correct.
And he recommended the son of the poor family.
There he is.
And he says to him, you're going to notice that the mother is very simple.
Yeah.
And that's
well,
how
she's very
they-
simple and she's
Yeah.
gullible, but she's nice.
Very nice.
And that's how they refer to her. Has
Yeah.
the mother actually,
Yes.
who takes over as the housekeeper, says she's very gullible but very nice.
She is.
And she is. They're all just very nice people. And we find out there's a secret
Let's not
that's
get into
going
it,
on
but it's
within the
interesting.
house.
I didn't
It is
expect
very
that.
interesting.
That was cool.
Yeah. And for that reason, I kind of, the ending, I forgive it. I forgive it because the film is just so good.
It's so good.
Loved
it.
I also love, and this is such a, you never hear this in films. By the way, this is a nightmare of a movie.
Memoirs of Murder.
This is a detective film.
I watched that 2 nights ago. I was going to review it, but in the interest of time, I just ended up throwing it as part of this conversation.
Well,
when we decided to cover Parasite.
Well, good. I'm glad you did. But I wish we could have done a whole review on that film.
We could. Well,
I'll tell you one thing about the Chinese, the Korean, when they show a dead body, like at the beginning of the film,
very graphic.
Girl in a pipe.
Real.
It looks like a dead body. In America and in all over the world, generally speaking, showing an actual dead body is taboo.
Yes.
They never want to do it. Everybody's eyes are always crystal clear and open and beautifully blue as they lay there in a trance-like state. No, that is not death. I have seen death. I have been very close up
I agree.
with a few people now in my life who have died, and I have seen the effects that death takes on them immediately.
And I've seen it too.
One of them is usually a mouth.
It's always open like this.
It's like a disfiguration.
It's terrible.
The mouth will go, the eyes will bulge.
I've watched The Last Gasp. I've never seen that before until last year.
I've seen it in
it was rough.
No, I've seen it in two people. One being my wife, and one being my mother, and it's a horrible thing to witness. But it's when you realize that you're in this world, you only have a certain amount of breaths.
I know.
That you're able to take before your body just dies.
Yeah.
But it's where we're all going. I was walking along today, and as I'm walking out of the supermarket, I'm seeing a young person, a medium person, an old person, life on planet Earth. This is what we see. And a woman walked by me, I kid you not. I just looked at her and she was kind of like, you could see that she made it out of the house today. Here I am bringing this review a little longer to make Chris more unhappy. But, and as she walked by me, I just said, we're all going to die. Just like that.
Said that to her?
I said it out loud.
What did she say?
I didn't say it to her, more or less. I just kind of said it to the air. I just kind of said, we're all going to die. Then I kind of glanced at her. I just said it in my head because it just, I just thinking of Jim Morrison. Nobody here gets out alive.
It's true.
And, 521, baby, 125, no one here gets out alive. And it's true.
It's true.
And it's what we are. We are just these physical, amoebas crawling around and trying to make our way in this crazy world. But I'll tell you something, you can't do yourself wrong by going to see Parasite. It's just a unique...
It's a wonderful film.
Wonderful
Very memorable film. I loved it, every minute of it.
I did too.
It was engrossing. I was transfixed the entire time. You get sucked into this story, and it's funny.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of dark humor. It's
I love the
smartly
scene,
written.
The place where they all live. Their actual home.
Oh, it's terrible.
There's a guy who urinates like
they basically live in an apartment that's basically a basement.
It's on the
in
ground.
an alley.
Right. So they're looking out their window is where people are walking.
And the drunk guy's peeing in the alley outside their
apartment.
apartment.
Drunk guy pees there like every day.
It's terrible.
So they have a great little slow motion scene where they throw something at him.
I think it's water.
Maybe water.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was sulfuric acid.
Yeah, no, I think it was a pot of water.
Probably so. Like
but I really enjoyed this movie.
Really
unique, very well done.
Yeah, the ending.
You're going to hear a lot about it come awards season, I'm pretty sure.
I think so too.
It's very good.
It's the one thing about Crazy Rich Asians. That was in English, wasn't it?
I agree.
Yeah.
This
was in
all in Korean.
All in Korean. But it's just a beautiful, and my God, what a beautiful looking film.
I agree.
Tints of green,
Perfect.
orange, and yellows, but
Yeah.
deep, not bright. Just wonderful looking.
Very well
movie.
photographed. Very well done film.
I was knocked out by
I
this
loved
movie.
it.
I truly
Yeah.
was. It's just a joy to behold. And
It is.
You're watching something very, very special.
I agree.
When you sit down to just partake of this.
I can't recommend it highly enough.
I can't either. It was just
I want my
wonderful.
father to see it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a good
Well,
film.
I don't know if he would enjoy it, to be quite honest.
I think he'd be into it. He would just have to get over the subtitles.
Well, the subtitles, plus it's a little, I think there's a complexity to it.
Watch
There's
it.
a lot of integration.
No, he likes this. He likes dramas.
Well, he gets a little where he needs to, have things explained to him.
Well, only because he doesn't like it's flashback. He doesn't like flashbacks.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's
no
what he has
flashbacks.
problems with.
No flashbacks here.
No, I think
there
he'd be
was
able-
one or two, I think.
In this?
Was there?
Not that I remember.
Nothing?
No.
Okay. I also like the aspect of the smells.
That was cool.
We had smell.
It's the basement musty smell to them.
Well,
because they all live there. Yeah.
Correct. And the little boy Da Song.
He's like the brilliant
Little
kid.
Da Song.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the brilliant little boy.
He first picks up on it.
He first picks up. He smell, she smell, all
They
the
smell the
same,
same.
all the same, all smell the same. It was great. I
And
loved
the
it.
main actor, he's in all of the director's movies.
Please don't tell us who he is, because nobody cares.
No, they don't care. You're right. But he is the guy that's the father of the family.
Yeah.
He's in all this directors. I will say
That's it.
real quick, I'm not going to get into it too long, but when I watched Memories of Murder the other night, which I watched.
That's a 2 hour and 20 minute
it's a long film.
Surprised you watched it.
Why?
Well, just because you...
I watch longer movies, you know. It's
I
fine.
know.
But I will tell you, I didn't really care for it, Memories of Murder.
Okay.
I didn't love it.
Okay.
I felt that it was tedious. I felt the ambiguity of the ending I didn't care for.
Well, you know, I don't remember the ending.
It was very
I haven't seen that
ambiguous.
film for 10 years.
Well done film.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it.
Okay.
I don't know if I could watch it again.
Okay.
I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah.
But this is a much superior film, hands down.
And also, this is a little bit of a takeoff on a film done by Akira. Boy, I almost threw up my
I know the
head.
movie you're going to say.
Which one?
Where the guy is, you high, I low.
Correct.
Yeah.
Movie called High and Low.
High and Low.
And it's just about the very wealthy and the very poor.
Yes.
And coming together and appreciating. And,
Yeah.
and in that film, the little guy's trying to kill.
Exactly.
He's trying to kill, like, yeah, well, why are you trying to kill me? Why you want to kill me? Well, you high, me low. I want to kill you.
Yeah.
Because I hate you, because you are what I want to be.
Exactly.
And it's pretty much what this film is right here. It's unique. It's a
Very
really
unique.
unique film. Characterization.
Very.
Powerful.
It's great.
Powerful characters.
I agree. All real
Everybody
people,
is
yeah.
Real people.
It's great.
Yeah, just wonderful.
Acted
Gotta
to
say.
perfection, highly recommended.
Absolutely.
Let's move on.
Shot to perfection.
Yeah, it's a wonderful
It's a
film.
magnificent
Loved
little
it.
piece of work.
I'm glad you saw it.
Very good.
Loved it. All right, so my first film.
Let's go for
It's
it.
always a surprise.
Oh, let's.
Again,
I won't look. Go ahead.
For those of you that are, maybe didn't see last week's show, for a while now, we're going to be just doing a lot of films that we want to see.
Film we wanna see.
Instead of twisting our arms
Instead
to
of
watch things we
twisting
feel
our arms.
obligated to see.
Exactly.
We're going to watch whatever we want every week. That
Damn
means
it.
things that
Damn
we
it.
put off, things that we've seen but we want to see again. So for me,
We're bringing you the films, baby. We're
We
bringing
are.
you the films.
so for me,
No more of this bullshit.
I
where
was
we
in the
say,
mood to
"Hey."
revisit a film I haven't
Uh-oh.
seen in quite some time.
Have I seen the film?
You've seen it, I'm
I
sure.
have?
Yes.
Okay.
So for me,
Is there anything I haven't seen?
there's probably some, but not a lot.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
I've seen quite a bit.
You
All
grew up
right.
in front of the TV. So this is a film that today.
Chris, I got to be in a movie in 9:15.
Today is
Sorry.
20 years to the day
It was 20 years ago
since
today.
The Insider was
Salsa
released
pepper,
in theaters.
salsa pepper. Oh, you were talking about this all week.
Not
You
really.
mentioned it last week too on the show.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you mentioned the inside. Well, no, I saw you mention
I
it.
know.
on
I posted an
Facebook.
article about it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a film by Michael Mann, who's one of my favorite filmmakers. He did Heat. He did Miami Vice. He did a bunch of stuff. Thief.
I love
He did
Thief.
Public Enemies.
Yeah. Well, I do love Mike.
And this film is based on a true story.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get too crazy into the
whistleblower
storyline.
movie.
It's a whistleblower movie about big tobacco,
Yeah.
about a guy named Jeffrey Wigand, who was a scientist that worked
Oh,
for
it's a great film.
big tobacco company, and he left his job and was concerned.
Amanda's dad.
Yes, Christopher Plummer. This guy became a whistleblower because he didn't like that. He felt that the Philip Morris company was hiding the dangerous effects of some of the ingredients in cigarettes. So he became a guy who was a whistleblower on 60 Minutes. Al Pacino is the star of the film, one of the stars with Russell Crowe. He plays a 60 Minutes producer. And then we see
Who's
Christopher
that?
Plummer
Is that anybody
is
famous?
Mike Wallace. That is Diane Venora, who plays the wife of Russell
Pacino.
Crowe's character.
Oh, okay.
Jeffrey Wigand. And we have here Christopher Plummer as Mike Wallace, obviously of 60 Minutes fame. And this film is all about, it's kind of two films in one. It's about getting this guy to become the whistleblower through a lot of technicalities. Then it becomes about how CBS corporate wants to gut the interview because they're afraid of a lawsuit from the
Philip
tobacco
Morris.
company,
Yeah,
Philip
right.
Morris. So it's a very interesting film. It's got a lot of dimensions to it. It's well acted. It's really intricate. It's almost a procedural, which I know for some it might be a turnoff, but it's engrossing.
You
It's
mean like
well acted?
Spotlight?
Yeah, but it's not as well. Then again, maybe like Spotlight.
Well, that is a procedure.
It is. That's true. But
What was
this
the last one we just talked about recently? We just talked about a procedural film. It was only 2 weeks ago, and I mentioned Spotlight.
You did, yeah. It'll come to me. I don't remember offhand.
Okay.
But I love this film. I loved it when I saw it in the theater. It's one of my favorites of all time. I love this movie.
It's in your top 10?
I don't know about top 10, but it's definitely
Top 100?
Top 100 for
Maybe
sure.
top 150.
100 for sure. No,
150.
I think Russell Crowe was perfect.
He's good.
I kind of wish he got the Oscar for this movie, although he got it the next year for Gladiator, which obviously was a great performance.
Did you hear about the Happy Roman?
Tell me.
He was Gladiator.
But I
And of
love
course,
this
that
film.
very joke is from a film, Best Picture 1978, and of course, all you real film buffs out there
Yes.
know it, was The Deer Hunter.
Exactly. But this film has a lot of great supporting performances. People like Bruce McGill, Stephen Tobolowsky, and just a bunch.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
It is.
Michael Mann does a great job at taking a story and making it really captivating. It was based on just a Vanity Fair article.
Right.
And he was also friends in real life with Lowell Bergman, which is the character that Al Pacino plays.
Okay.
I really recommend it highly. I
can
love
tell
this
you
film.
that. I know.
Really well done. People that haven't seen it, you can watch it. It's Amazon, iTunes.
We're all very happy
All
for it.
the
We're very
streaming
happy.
platforms
I
can
can
watch
feel
it.
the love from the people.
Don't be sarcastic.
They're happy for you.
Stop being sarcastic.
I'm not
It's a
being
wonderful
sarcastic.
film. Yes, you are.
It is a good
You're
film.
downplaying my review. Anyway, but I'm going to move on. That's it. It's
I
quick.
am downplaying.
It's a wonderful film.
It's a good film.
Let's move on to your first
Okay.
boring choice.
What's my first boring choice?
I don't know. Let's see what it is.
go.
Bum, bum, bum. It is... It
Gentlemen
is.
prefer blondes.
Ah, I've never seen it.
Well, I saw it the other night.
Jane Russell, Marilyn Monroe.
I bought all the Monroe films. They were all on in a bin somewhere at some. It's called the Big Store, and they have all kinds of a lot of movies in bins for $5 a piece. Well, all these just came out, and they're all high definition Marilyn films. They include River of No Return, The Misfits, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, River of No Return. Did I say that one?
You did.
Okay, and there's two others. Oh, 7 Year Itch and not Niagara, but
It doesn't matter. They get the idea.
matter. But hey, look
What?
what I did.
Oh, you did a GIF.
I did a GIF or a GIF.
Or a
as
GIF.
One might
It's
prefer.
GIF, actually. Yeah.
It is GIF.
GIF.
Anyway, it stars Jane Russell. It stars Marilyn Monroe. If you want to just have a great night, this movie is an hour and 31 minutes long. I love this film.
Now, is this the
I
first
saw
time you've
this when-
seen it? Oh, you saw it a long time
No,
ago.
I saw it when I was a kid.
Okay.
Many, many years ago. My mother was a big Marilyn Monroe freak.
Yes.
She just adored Marilyn. When Marilyn died on August 4th in 1962, my mother cried like a baby. I kid you not. She just sobbed, and she was so upset.
She is a
by it.
beautiful icon.
She is beautiful, but not only that, in this film, and you should do more gifts, man. I think I've started some real revolutionary picture showing on our show.
Nice.
Look at that fan go, ladies and gentlemen. It's just
Awesome.
a kick. This, of course, is the iconic Diamonds Are a Girl Best Friend.
Exactly.
Madonna, everybody and their brother has done a spoof
Parody,
of
whatever,
it,
yeah.
parody. You're going to see Margot Robbie do a spoof coming up in her new Birds of Prey movie.
Probably.
She does a little Marilyn
Great,
Monroe moment there. It doesn't really matter what it's about. Marilyn is a money chaser. She just chases after men, weak men that she can prey upon, basically, and she can just take advantage of them. And she does a full musical number of, here it is, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. That is a showstopper. It's literally spectacular. Her voice, her body, I'm telling you, I just watched this movie jaw open. It's a Howard Hawks film.
Cool.
Howard is just a wonderful, great director. Charles Coburn literally steals the show. He plays Everyone Calls Me Piggy. And he's an old guy, and his wife, Lady Beekman, his name is Beekman. Lady Beekman has a tiara, and Marilyn says, "Oh, Piggy, I want that tiara so bad. That old Lady Beekman, she doesn't need it." Well, Marilyn is so dumb in this film, it's hilarious. She actually, I'm blown away at just how mesmerizingly she's able to captivate stupid into
That's
this
not easy,
character.
you know.
It's not easy.
It's not.
Her comic ability in this film is mind-blowing.
It's like people that in movies have to play somebody like an actor who's acting poorly. A lot of actors actually have a challenge if you're a good actor playing a bad actor. That's not easy.
It's always difficult to put on a show. But you know, Marilyn always had she was from the Lee Strasberg School of method acting, so she had always she always had a coach standing by. Now this film is 1952, I believe, 53 possibly, and this is early in Marilyn's real big career. She started pretty quick. She had a bit part in All About Eve, the great, where fasten your seatbelts, we're gonna have a bumpy ride. Bumpy ride, says Betty Davis.
Yes.
But and then Marilyn was in her first film. Actually, was a movie called Love Happy with Groucho Marx, and Groucho goes, yeah, certainly something to look at. But I'll tell you something. This film is just eye candy from beginning to end. It's funny, it's ridiculous, it's stupid. I loved it.
Cool.
It's beautifully shot. The definition of this Blu-ray that just came out is magnificent. It is crystal clear. I was dying. The only thing is, of course, it's just like, you know, Chris's favorite film, the miserable goddamn Lighthouse, that came out a couple of weeks ago. It's got the black bars on the left and the right. We're just looking at a 3x3 square. But I'll tell you, I'd much rather watch this film than the Lighthouse. Any day of
Well,
my
like I told you
life.
last week, I liked The Lighthouse, but I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
Nobody will ever watch that film again.
It's a one-time viewer.
Even the projectionist at the theater refuses to watch. He just leaves the room.
He puts on a blindfold.
He puts on a blindfold
Yeah.
because nobody wants to see that film. It's just a miserable,
Cool.
horrible, gray, miserable film.
I'm glad you enjoyed this.
I did.
So
very
move on?
much so.
Done?
You may move on.
Okay. Well, my next choice, and I only have one more because I did.
Have I inspired you to see that film?
I'm interested, but it's not going to be for a long time.
Not going to be for a long,
long time. No, there's other things that stand in line ahead of that.
So here's yours now.
Yes,
Number 5.
my choice here.
Here we go.
Is a film that I've always wanted to see and finally got a chance to watch
I
it.
hope it's something that... Have I seen it?
I think you probably have.
Okay. It's an older film?
Tucker, A Man in His Dream.
Oh,
Jeff
gosh,
Bridges.
no.
Francis Ford Coppola.
Francis Ford Coppola.
I really enjoyed this film.
Did you?
Loved it.
I'm sorry.
I love movies about ambitious people.
Okay.
I love movies about the little guy.
So you're dying to see Ford versus Ferrari.
I
coming
can't
out
wait to
soon.
see that.
I think it looks like just
I
garbage.
think it looks great. But this movie, it's really interesting. Jeff Bridges plays a guy named Tucker
I saw it
who
in
had
the
the
theater.
dream of making this revolutionary car. This is post-World War II.
Right.
And he's battling the big three automakers.
What year did this come out?
In 1988.
It came out right after Francis had just done One from the Heart.
Yes.
This was his next film after
Yes,
that.
I think you're
And
right.
that was a great little movie.
Yes.
Crystal Gale, Tom Waits.
Yes.
This one's from the heart.
Yes.
I like that film. This film, and there's Joan Allen right
Joan
there.
Allen. This is a great cast.
yeah,
we
it
have
is a
Martin
great cast.
Landau. We
Right.
have Frederick Forrest. We have Lloyd Bridges plays a real jerk of a senator that's up against him,
Right.
who works for Big Auto, basically.
There's my friend John Covert right there.
Yeah, that's
John, if you're watching, I didn't
Elias
know you were in the
Koteas.
film.
Yeah,
You know,
but I really enjoyed this film. To
I
me,
really did not enjoy this
well,
film.
you're
It's
doesn't
just
matter.
a boring movie. It
I
just
disagree.
never go anywhere.
It goes
had no
in lots of
momentum.
places. It has momentum.
It's just a lot of great shots. I thought it had.
It's
some
about a
momentum.
guy that's fighting, uphill. He's fighting the government. He's fighting the big corporations.
And he lost big time because his car was a total flop.
But guess what? It was a flop because of the forces against him. And guess what? A lot of the things that were innovative about his vehicle, the auto industry adopted anyway.
And guess what?
Seatbelts.
This film was a total flop.
Doesn't matter.
It made no money
But
at
it's
all.
still a
It
good
bombed.
film. Doesn't matter if it made money. It's still a good
Listen,
film.
I'm glad
How
you
many
liked it.
good films didn't make money? A lot. Shawshank Redemption was a bomb when it came out. Now it's the most popular film on IMDb.
There ain't nobody going back to watch Tucker again.
I'm
except
watching it
you.
again.
Well, God bless you.
It's a good film, regardless.
God
Don't
bless you.
listen to this man.
I like Jeff
It's
Bridges.
a good film. It's got a great cast.
It's okay.
It's very good. This would be a great companion piece with a film called Flash of Genius with Greg Kinnear, where he plays the inventor of the intermittent windshield wiper.
Yeah.
And again, Big
I never
Auto
saw it.
crushed him, but then his thing became standard.
Oh, there's Martin Landau.
He's great. He was up for an Oscar
I
for this
believe it.
movie.
I'm not
The
surprised.
best supporting.
You know, it's not a bad film.
It's a wonderful
nice
film.
little production. It just
It's
was
great.
like a 2.5-star film at the
For
time.
you.
For me, it
For
was.
me, I
really
loved
was.
it. I really enjoyed it.
Really just.
I've heard about it for years. Always
Okay.
wanted to see it.
Well, glad you saw it.
Really enjoyed it.
No. I
It's
am.
it's limited in terms of availability.
Oh, really?
It's Amazon. Well, no, it's actually got a few.
Oh,
Amazon,
thank
Google
God.
Play.
So
YouTube.
people really can't see it if they don't.
No, they can watch it online.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But it's really great. I really recommend it.
Well, okay.
and-
Listen, I love Jeff.
Yeah, he's great in this film. He has such in this film, he has such an air of positivity and optimism.
much like myself.
Even you're the pessimist. What are you talking about? Even in the face of adversity, he's trying to stay positive, and he doesn't. He's just trying to lead the troops. And the film ends with like a big court scene, and
Oh,
it's
please, don't
very
give it away.
interesting.
Don't give it away.
It's not a
oh, you don't
spoiler.
have to watch it now. It ends with a court
Stop.
scene. And he loses
Stop.
the court battle.
Ignore this
because
man.
the
Ignore
his
everything
whole
this man
production company
says.
shuts down.
It's a good film.
That's right. Two watch
If the
it.
film
Not
doesn't
just
have
one.
naked women in it,
Two.
he doesn't want to watch it.
Oh, bullshit.
Anyway,
I just watched Marilyn Monroe. She
she's
wasn't
half
naked.
naked half the movie.
Well, she wasn't.
She's showing her
I
assets.
wish she had been.
Anyway, I recommend it.
She was just showing what God gave her.
Let's go to Adele's next choice because it's probably something I haven't seen or probably don't want to see.
No, I disagree.
Let's see it.
Because here it is.
Speedy.
Speedy.
What the hell's Speedy?
Speedy is a film with one of the funniest. This film is one of the most.
Is it a silent era?
Yes.
Fuck that.
How dare you
I
say
hate
that?
silent films.
Well, let me tell you this.
I try to watch them, but it's
Here
tough.
it is. This stars the incredible...
Although I do like Metropolis.
No. This film, I kid you not. I put this film on. Now, I just recently saw, what the heck was the name of the film? He did a very famous film, and it's called The Easy Way, or Take the Easy Way. Well, anyway.
Take the money and run.
It's got that great scene where Harold Lloyd,
Yes.
who was one of the great silent actors, no question about it. Here he is right here. This is just a spectacular scene of him at a park. He's with a girl that he loves.
Yes.
Now, let me give you the breakdown of this film.
Must you?
I tell you something.
1928.
Yeah, this film, I laughed so hard at this movie, I
Okay.
kid you not. There are so many, now obviously in silent films, a comedy specifically, Chaplin was the master,
know.
Buster Keaton was
Yes.
the secondary master,
Yes.
but Harold Lloyd to me is God. This guy has the most incredible sight gags. I mean, it's just awesome. And he's got a wicked sense of humor. He'll be at the fair, and he gets a balloon and he sees an old lady bending over, so he ties and he'll put a little piece of meat or something on the balloon, and then the dog, jumps on the old lady when she bends over. He puts the balloon on her or whatever. It's just hilarious. I know it sounds ridiculous. But basically, this film is about an old man. He's got a horse and buggy run through the town, but the motor cars, not just cars, but also the trolley cars are starting to take over.
Yes.
This is back in the early 1920s,
Exactly.
1928.
Yes.
So they're trying to drive out. Big business has come in, and they want to get these guys with the horse and buggies out of here. They're slowing down progress. They're slowing down production. They're slowing down the future. So there's an old guy. It's his girlfriend's father.
Okay.
And so he's got to be on the road every day from 12 to 5. He's got to do 5 hours a day, or they can kick him off. They can take him over. In the meantime, they come up to him and say, "Hey, we'll give you this amount of money." Or actually, they say to him, "Write down on a piece of paper how much money you want." So he writes $1,000 down. So Harold grabs it real quick and adds a little notch on it, so it says $7,000. He's just doing kinds of funny stuff through the whole movie. It's hilarious. So what happens is the big business guys come and they steal the old man's horse and buggy, so he can't be on the road. So he's now going to go out of business. So Harold has to track him down. But we go through 3 separate hilarious scenes. The first scene is Harold. He takes his girlfriend to the fair, to a county fair. Amazing. Just every little moment is just loaded with hilarious stuff. I kid you not. I know it. I wish you could see it because and it took me a bit to get into it.
That's the problem. It takes me a while.
It takes you a bit to get into it.
But I'm sure I'd get into it.
But as soon as you start to realize how creative he is, and how amazing that he and they have scenes that, by the way, Babe Ruth is in this film.
Oh, really?
The Babe Ruth.
That's cool.
There's a great scene where finally Harold, to make money part-time, and they call him Speedy because he's so slow and he's always late, and of course. So he drives a cab, so he gets, Babe Ruth is standing on the corner, so he goes, he gets Babe Ruth into the car, and he ends up having to, take him on a wild ride through the city. Babe Ruth is hilarious in this film. I'm telling you,
that's cool.
Great.
I mean, they'd be worth seeing just for that.
Just for Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
And he's all dressed to the nines. He gets out, and everybody runs up to him. "Oh, babe, can I have an autograph? Can I have an autograph?" Then they show him. He has to go to the baseball game. He drops off Babe at the game. Babe says, "Hey, you want to come in?" He says, "Sure." He goes on in. Now he gets a whole thing. There's a cop chasing him through the whole thing because he got a ticket with his car earlier in the thing. So the cop is at the game. Cop's chasing him all over the place. He's just constantly just doing ridiculous things. I laughed my ass off in this film. I truly did. The ending is a hare racing, race to the finish line. He's got to get Dad's cart on the road by a certain time. And then he ends up getting an outrageous amount of money. But this is just a pure exploration and pure comedy output. And for the hour, and I think it's like an hour 35 minutes or so, I mean, it just, I didn't want it to end.
Now, this is the first time you've seen this?
The first time I've seen this film, yeah. And I loved Harold in, it's called, the very famous scene where there's a clock.
I know that scene very well.
Yes,
it's a famous scene. I've seen that scene.
He scales up the side of a building.
Yes.
I mean, the man just took risks beyond belief. And it's called Don't Try This, or I can't think. I wish I could think of the name of that movie. I should have it, but I don't because I'm incompetent and insecure. But I'll tell you something. This film is so funny. I loved it.
Cool.
I loved it, and I loved.
It sounds entertaining.
I'd watch it again. I couldn't. I just did not want it to end. I just sat there laughing out loud, hilariously.
You know what's interesting is that you don't see a lot of remakes of silent films. It's like it's kind of like there are moments.
You do. You
really?
do.
How many? Not a lot though. I don't
Not
feel like
all
a lot.
the time.
Really?
Well, because there's only 3 main plots. You know, there's
Yeah.
there's the plot of the guy and the girl. There's a plot in the guy trying to overcome big business or whatever. But there's only a few real plots in the world that we can really deal with. Most of it is interrelationship.
Well, it's all how you tell it, because everybody's told the story before.
Everybody is, and who you tell it with.
Yeah.
And but a story. There's only a certain amount of stories that we as human beings can experience. Of course, now as we go on in the technical age and cell phones, we have more shows with movies with cell phones in them and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre to me. I've just been watching. There was something I just watched recently, and everybody had and it was all the modern technology of the day, and everybody has a flip phone in it. And
back in like the 90s or early 2000s.
I mean,
well, those are the phones of the era.
I know exactly. And
you watch, shows like The West Wing.
Movie, yeah.
It was all just 90s technology.
Now, look at how phones have just gone from A to
1,000
a zillion
in a very
Zs
short period of time.
In a very short period of time. Well, look at TVs.
That too.
And we went from tube TVs to flat screen,
to this beautiful,
amazing images.
Now we've got the thin curved ones that are coming out.
No, the thin curved ones are history. They don't do the curve. They dump them.
Already?
The only preset people
because they really weren't like mass produced yet. They were like the new thing.
Oh no, you're so wrong, my son.
Really?
They did the curved screens came out. Samsung put them out, and they died a wicked death. No more curved screens are being made. You can buy one if you wanted.
I don't want it.
You'd have to go back and buy an old Samsung from like 6-7 years ago.
Really? I thought they just came out like a year or two ago. Little things like that. Eh?
No. Well, like Tucker, you're a man of progress and vision, but you're
you're the one that's obsessed with TVs. You know this stuff better than I do.
I do.
I just thought it was more recent than that. No. All right, so let's move on. I'm glad you enjoyed Speedy.
I really did. I loved
your review should have been a little speedier, but that's okay. Let's do here your last track.
Laugh track.
He insisted on doing another movie, so he's going to be very quick with Carnival Row.
Well, it's a short show. That's what she said to you.
Well, let's try to see how short we can make it, huh?
Well,
instead of an hour and 15.
Look at this beautiful widescreen.
This show does look good.
I'll tell you something. Of course, as many of you
on Amazon, this show, Carnival Row.
It is. It's only 8 episodes long. They're each about a little less than an hour. It stars the lovely, beautiful model-esque, and she is a model.
Yeah, I know. Cara Delevingne, right?
Delevingne.
And Orlando Bloom.
And there's Orlando. Both of them are excellent in this film.
I've heard good things.
You said to me, I hear it's kind of sleazy and there's a lot of sexy stuff in it. And I have to tell you, there is, in fact, some sexy stuff.
I like that you may be into Groucho Marx.
Well, I really I'll tell you, Orlando is excellent in this film. Now, I want to preface this.
It's a show, not a film.
It's a show, by the way. It's not a movie. Okay, so get that straight. But I want to preface this whole thing with, look how, I'm telling you, this girl, she is a full-fledged woman, by the way.
Of course she is.
She was a young girl in Valerian and the...
that was only a year or two ago.
Drug of choice,
yes. In the City of a Thousand Planets.
City of a Thousand.
Great film.
Yeah, Luc Besson. I love Luc Besson. He's a very good guy. I wish he played the French horn instead of the basson.
Yes.
But you know something? I really did enjoy this series. But I must preface, I had just come off, and had I just seen this...
I know what you're going to say.
I just came off Penny Dreadful. And Penny Dreadful was so important to me. It was so devastating of an experience. There was so much emotion and so much heart tugging and so much brilliant use of film and pure emotion in such a pure sense that and acting that I was just constantly being blown away by. And it's so rare that you get a show that has great effects and great storytelling at the same time. It just doesn't happen.
I know.
The people who made Penny Dreadful were just
very
above
unique
and beyond
the
whole concept.
I'm in season 2 right now.
Good.
Yeah,
You've
good.
been on season 2 now for about the last 2-3 weeks.
That's not true.
So maybe one of these days I'm going to cut you into little pieces, said Pink Floyd on their metal album.
I watch movies too, so, you know.
Yes, well, so do I.
Yeah, but you have a lot more time than I do. It's true, though.
It's true, though.
You probably have 30 free hours a week. I don't have that much free time.
That may be true. Look
It's
at
true.
her. Oh, how lovely she is. My God.
Yeah, she is
She's
lovely.
just turning into a woman before my eyes.
And she works very steadily too.
Does the little girl
She's good.
ballada, sunrise, sunset, little Fiddler on the Roof for all you
I'm sure.
people out there.
One guy appreciated that.
One guy appreciate that. Some guy who lives over there. He lives in Muncie, New York.
He likes
That's
it.
right. When you the little girl likes ready. Little Jewish singer there for you. I'll tell you, Orlando is dynamite. He plays the detective,
Yes.
who has a very dark, deep secret.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, these girls. There's a brothel, a whorehouse, if you will, and all these little fluttering nymphs. And they're all they've got these wings on them. Here's her wings.
Yes.
I love the way they fly around. They fly around more like a hummingbird.
Oh, interesting.
They flutter, they can go mid-air and just stay there and hover, and they can go out, but they can't go long distance. Otherwise, they'd be able to leave the city, because they all
I
want to
see.
leave the city, because it's a miserable, downtrodden city,
Yes.
Carnival Row, where they all live. So there's a kind of variant. If you're familiar with the book and the film of this, there was another TBS series called The Alienist,
Yes.
and it starred our
Daniel Bruhl.
and little Dakota Fanning and the
As
other
well as
guy.
Luke Evans.
Luke Evans
Yes.
was in it also.
See, this strikes me almost like, it reminds me a little bit of what I know about it, like fantastical version of kind of like From Hell, where there's somebody murdering these kind of like prostitutes or
No,
whatever.
they're not murdering prostitutes. They're murdering people, and they're
Oh,
people.
so not just focusing on these fairy hoarders?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Oh, not at all.
I thought that's what it
no,
was.
there's a reason that we have certain people are being picked off
Okay.
and killed. And we don't know why, we don't know who's doing it, but they're all kind of circling the perimeter lifestyle and life of one person
I
in
see.
this particular
I see. Okay.
show.
Cool.
And I'm kind of giving you the arc
Yes.
variation of where the film begins and ends. It begins with these two being madly in love, and but unfortunately they live in a place that is uninhabitable. They have to leave that place and they have to go move on, so they have to separate.
I see.
But they're madly in love. And in I think episode 3 or so, we do the whole flashback
I see.
of how they originally
That's
met
cool.
and
Yeah.
fell in love, and a wonderful, if I may be brazen enough to say, a fantastic sex scene between the two of them.
Very nice.
Just and Kara, I haven't seen this woman clothes
In the
less.
buff?
In
Yeah.
the buff, so to speak, and I'll tell you something. I was very moved by
You have to
her.
change your pants.
I didn't know I didn't have to.
Just let it, you sat in it?
But there was it was nothing to sit in. Please let's not get into a liquid furnace of your brain decay.
Well, I was just
no, I'm
playing
just
off of
talking
your
about. No,
excitement.
she's so lovely, but the way that it's filmed, it's very erotic. And I just read today that both of them found that sex scene to be very uncomfortable.
I'm sure.
It really was, but regardless, whatever. But it's a very atmosphere. This is atmosphere,
Cool.
as opposed to Penny Dreadful, that is pure driven emotion.
Yes.
And pure driven, there's horror. There's every emotion in Penny Dreadful. I cannot say enough about that series. A good friend of mine, you know who you are. You just finished it today, I believe, and texted me about it. And I'll tell you though, it's so moving. The ending is just mind blowing and so horrible to grasp for me. But regardless. This show is a different kind of a thing. It's atmosphere. There's a murder mystery going on. We have a couple people here from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
There's a woman who played the mother on that. Remember that little island?
I know who you're talking
and
about.
she poisons Lena Headey's daughter.
Yes.
She gets poisoned.
Yes.
Remember? And
yes.
the woman who does it, she has a very kind of a Greek Athena look.
She's from
Always has her hair
she's
on
from
her
Dorne, right?
I believe
The Spanish
so. Yeah,
place.
right.
Yes, I know
she's
you're
the
talking
Spanish,
about.
and she's who's the guy that's her husband? He gets killed.
Wait, he's the Prince of Dorne.
Right.
He's the mountain crushes
Who
his
plays
face.
him? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Well,
yeah,
her
mountain
husband was the guy you call Burt Reynolds.
Right. He's
Yes.
the Spanish for Reynolds, who was in that.
He's in the new show Mandalorian that's coming out.
Oh, he's also in Narco.
He's in Narcos.
The Narcos.
We've seen him in a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Of course, his name for this second is escaping my brain.
Well, we just saw
but
him
I know
in
who
that,
he is.
that movie.
That movie, the movie called
Space.
Prospect.
Prospect.
He's been in a million things.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Not a million.
Well, good amount of stuff since
Not
Game
a
of
million.
Thrones.
Not a million.
He was
But anyway.
in. We saw him in that movie with Ben Affleck on Netflix.
Okay.
That Mission movie.
And also, there's a couple people here from Penny Dreadful.
Good.
That I was kind of impressed to see and watch the cast kind of revolve before your eyes. But, this is 8 episodes. I don't know if I recommend it to everybody. I don't know if I'd recommend it to you because I don't know if there's enough there to really sink your teeth into.
Yeah.
And it's also, they're assuming by the end that there is going to be another season. I get the feeling because it ends kind of on a cliffhanger, kind of an open-ended basis where they could very easily go back and do some more stuff. But it's very violent, a lot of real intestinal gore.
Okay.
And there's a creature who is being sent out to kill people, but the creature is simply a tool that someone is using who has gone through a witch. It's a really cool concept.
Okay.
I like it. And they're going through this witch to conjure this spirit.
Interesting.
This big ugly beast that is just massacring people, and we don't know how or why.
Okay.
And then we, of course, as the ending comes, we
find out
everything.
Okay.
But and it's a satisfying plot, but it's really about the fluttering little
Nymphs.
pixies.
Okay.
They're pixies,
all right.
and they're called pics, I believe.
Nice.
That's like their slang term. Like, oh, she's a pig, so okay.
So then I call JPEGs.
Yeah, they're not called JPEGs. No, they're called GIFs. Yeah.
Okay.
They're called GIFs.
Well, good. I'm
So
glad
there
you shared
go.
that with us.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's really a kick. I kind
It's
of
a
enjoyed
prominent
it.
show on Amazon. Feel free to watch
I
it.
needed something to fulfill the gap. There's a gap. There's a hole in my heart now from not having Penny Dreadful in my heart. My heart is now on my.
I don't think you're going to find something that's going to fill
It's
it.
on my sleeve right
Yeah.
now. I have not found anything that has come close to it, and to not be able to see, to not be able to see Eva Green on a nightly basis is just heartbreaking to me.
I know.
Yeah, she's just she's so dominating, and she is Vanessa Ives, and she's just wonderful. And
She is amazing.
She is
very captivating.
Yeah,
on that
she
show.
really is. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen any of the actual possession scenes.
Oh, I've seen
yet.
those. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Not just the seance.
No, I've
But
seen
some
stuff.
of the
Some crazy
possession
stuff.
Oh yeah, it goes
Yeah,
on.
absolutely.
Wait till Patti LuPone hits the. She's the old lady in the
I've seen
shack.
her.
Have you seen Patti LuPone?
I saw her. I just finished that episode.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, with the witch. She's a witch. I saw
Right.
that. Yeah.
Did you see her demise? Did
No,
you
I didn't see that.
Oh,
but I knew that it was coming.
Well, then you haven't. Okay.
Well, they showed one aspect of it, and then.
Well, you'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know.
So you're not done with it yet. She's still living in that
As far as
that shack with the with
still
Patti
So I think
LuPone.
it happens in another episode.
Okay.
Because I just
didn't
saw
even-
the episode where she was introduced.
I didn't even know that was Patti LuPone.
I
Patti
know
LuPone
she
was
looks
on Broadway.
I know she's a legend.
She is a legend. She was in Don't Cry for Me,
Argentina. Yeah, she was.
She
Yes.
was in Evita.
She's
of course.
great.
Absolutely. She was the original Evita.
Of course she
and
was.
she should have gone on to do the film, but of course
needed
Madonna
a bigger star,
was a big
yeah.
star, so they gave it to Madonna.
But she's royalty. She's
she is
theater royalty.
She's theater royalty, and she's dynamite.
She's great. She's great in
Penny
this show.
Dreadful.
Yeah, she's
she's
awesome.
spectacular.
She's great.
She plays another role later on.
Okay,
which
good.
is
Don't say
a little
too much.
disappointing.
Okay. Well,
But
move
I
on.
still loved her.
Just to touch on what's new on video, we actually have a bunch of stuff this week.
Do we?
Yeah, we have Hobbs and Shaw, the big release.
Okay, well, this came out today.
Yeah, it just came out.
On
These
video.
are all today on video.
Correct.
All today.
I saw them all.
Yeah. Honestly, I'll probably never watch this again. I liked it. Never watch it again.
It was okay.
I don't need to.
It was
This
okay.
was fun.
I enjoyed this.
I enjoyed this.
I enjoyed
yeah,
it too.
I enjoyed it. I reviewed it when it was
I
in the
never did
theater.
review it here on
Yeah.
the show,
But it's a
but
good
you
little-
reviewed it and you pretty much
I liked it. It was fun.
said, yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
I didn't see this,
Can't
but
watch it.
there are people that would like to see it.
I can't see
I know
this
the
film.
dog movie.
Can't dog movie,
I know.
and the dog dies, I know, so I
Well, I don't
can't.
know that, but I
well,
imagine.
Stop provoking and capture your heart.
This I didn't see.
It's supposed to be horrendous.
Yeah, I didn't see it yet,
The
but
reviews
maybe.
are bad.
But it's based on a comic book, which is weird. I don't know much about it.
Oh, a graphic
based on DC
novel?
Yeah, I think a DC graphic novel.
Oh, wow. What's coming out in theaters, Chris?
Let's go check it out. We got a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
we got a big one. We got Doctor Sleep.
Oh, we do.
Can't wait to see that.
I'm
Hugh
actually
McGregor playing Billy
I
Torrance
like the
growing
way
up.
they did the yellow, although I've just seen the orange of this. But the original,
like this.
the original Shining poster
Yes,
was yellow.
That's why I picked that.
There you go.
Good old Emilia
Does
Clarke.
not look good.
Written by Emma Thompson.
Oh, really?
She's in the film too.
Screenplay by Emma. Oh,
Yeah,
God, look
but
at
you
that.
know, it's just Christmas
And Paul
movie.
Feig directed.
Paul Feig directed. It's got,
I love Paul
It's
Feig.
got good people behind the scenes.
Does.
Could be
Does.
good. I'm not gonna run out and maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
Well, here's one of the reasons not to. It features the music of George Michael.
Well, he's been dead for how many years?
Well, he was dead when he was alive.
I
my
know.
friend.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
But yeah, we got this, which I actually might go see midway. Looks like fun.
You know,
it's a Roland Emmerich film, so you know it's going to be big, bombastic.
Well, you know, the problem with these films is too many roles.
I know.
Not enough. You know, everything is just touchdown,
I know,
touchdown,
it is.
touchdown.
It's true.
Before you know it.
You know, I never saw the original Midway.
Well, you didn't miss a
not
damn
good, right?
thing. It's just,
We have Patrick Wilson looking like a young Kevin Spacey.
And here's Luca Evans.
Luke
right
Evans,
there.
who's in everything.
Here's Dennis Quaid.
Looking like Tommy Lee Jones.
a little
Aaron
bit.
Eckhart, I believe.
Here's not Nick. Nick Jonas. Oh God.
Woody Harrelson with a bad wig.
Woody with his well, he just did his Joe Biden impression on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He's
yeah.
got the same wig.
Yeah.
And here we have
Ed Skrein, right?
looks like Ed Skrein, but it also looks like Peter Weller from
a little
RoboCop.
bit. A young Peter
A
Weller.
little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
It looks like fun.
And Mandy Moore
Mandy
right
Moore?
off of This Is Us.
Exactly.
But you know,
It's entertaining. It's a theater film for sure.
give a damn
I
about
might
that.
see it with my dad or something. I don't
Go
know.
see it with your dad.
Maybe I will.
Why don't you do that?
And then we got this, which I really can't wait to see.
Oh.
Honey Boy, written by Shia LaBeouf, an autobiographical film of when he first came on the scene as a child actor.
Interesting.
He plays his own father. Very interesting.
I will see anything that Shia
too.
LaBeouf is in. The guy
he's
is
earned
a
my
bloody
respect.
genius.
He's
he
great.
is a nutbag, but on screen he is dynamite.
This looks great.
He is
I wanna see
sheer
this.
power on screen.
Yeah.
That man can act.
He's very
cold
good.
in the snow.
And this
he
is
spectacular.
limited release, but it opens
Yeah.
wide in December.
Well, he's on Jimmy.
And
Kimmel
then we have
Tonight.
this atrocious crap that I'm not going to go see.
Okay.
Playing with Fire, John Cena.
Well, you know,
don't
I did like the last John Cena film, which was the one about the kids and knocked up. No,
I didn't see
it
it.
was called. Cock Blockers.
Oh, Knockers is just called.
Huh?
It's just called Knockers.
Knockers?
Blockers,
No,
Blockers. Blockers, yeah.
I love that film.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Blockers was a funny movie.
Fun. I'd see that over this.
It really was. I think it wasn't Elizabeth Banks in it.
No, but it's got a bunch of
those
noteworthy
kind of
people,
actors and actors. But John Cena was great in that.
I know,
film.
but I'm tired of these movies with
I know.
kids.
Well,
and,
there we have what's his face right over there.
Leguizamo, we have Keane and Michael Keane.
Right.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But that's it. We'll definitely be reviewing this.
You know, I can't believe this movie's 2.5 hours long.
Long, I know.
Why did they do that to us?
I don't know. And then I'm going to go see tonight Mother
reviews
vs. Brooklyn, so I'm going to review that next
The
week.
reviews were very good, though, on
Yeah, it looks
Dr.
good. I'll
Dr.
check it out.
Sleep.
I'll check it out.
No, Variety loved it. They
Cool.
said it's long, but the creeps are there.
Cool. All right.
And
that sounds
I
good.
did not like The Shining. I did not.
I enjoyed that film.
Oh, I didn't
like
care
it a lot.
for it.
Yeah.
It just felt like dead air to me. It had that dead kind of, Eyes Wide Shut had a little bit of that, but I still
I
love
Eyes Wide Shut.
I still love
That's
that
my
film.
favorite Kubrick film
It's
so far.
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I still love Dr. Strangelove. I still love 2001.
I know, they're both brilliant. Well, yeah, 2001 obviously
I do
is
love
amazing.
2001, and you
Incredible.
can go back and watch Paths of Glory and old
I
Kirk
know.
Douglas.
Yeah, I have
They're
that.
Douglas.
I know, I got to watch
You really
that.
got to watch it. It's
Well,
just
you know what? I
wonderful.
put it on a few years ago to watch with my father. He's like, I don't want to watch this, so I never got a chance to finish it.
Your father.
Yes, I like watching movies with him.
I can't say I blame you.
But
It's always- I wish I
but
had-
no, we'll definitely be reviewing some good stuff next week.
Wish I had my dad to
I
review
know.
movies.
I would have liked to meet your dad.
Yeah,
I actually
cool
really
guy.
love to.
Oh,
Yeah.
my dad was
Yeah,
a great guy.
I'd love to.
He just had
Would
a
have
heart
loved
of
to.
gold, that guy. He
You have any
really did.
video of him?
I don't believe
Pull out
I do. I
of
have loads of photographs.
Photographs I've seen. Yeah.
Have you?
They showed me some pics. One or two.
I have no video of the man. I'm
bad.
sorry to say. He was really a cool guy, though.
yeah,
He truly
sounds like
was.
it from what you've told me.
He really was
Yeah.
a cool guy. No question.
Cool.
All right, my friend.
We'll see you guys
Another
next week.
episode.
Another in the can.
right,
man.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good. We'll
was
see
a
you
good
all
show.
next week.
We will indeed.
Have a good weekend.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Louie, where are you?
Road. Yeah, where we going now? Yeah, let's just,